does it start? Vaccine. It means, it started from the word cow, vaca. It meant cow. So they would take pus, cow pus. You don't want to waste that stuff. And they would rub that into wounds on people. And then they decided, maybe we can put horse pus and cow pus from an infected horse's hoof. We'll rub that in. And they tried that. And for a long time, they were experimenting with all these things. Some old-timey vaccines were made by, I'm going to read it so I get it right, steeping them for years in a mix of ox bile and glycerin and potato slices. Sounds like a joke, right? But it's true. But science moved on, and it evolved to where vaccines included dried rabbit spinal cords, duck embryos, chicken blood, human bile, because you don't want to waste that, ground up rat spleens, and boiled pig skin. So that's old-time vaccines before we knew anything about anything. So let's switch to the modern-day vaccines, because obviously now we're real smart and we know a lot of stuff. Well, here is what's in your childhood vaccines right now. Gelatin from boiled pigskin, kind of like the old one. Chicken embryo protein. Blood from the hearts of cow fetuses. DNA fragments from human fetuses. Oil extracted from shark livers, I mentioned earlier. Proteins from worm ovaries, because you don't want to leave that out. And, of course, DNA fragments from monkey kidneys. Now, if that doesn't sound like a Shakespeare play, that eye of newt, toe of frog, lizard's leg, tongue of dog. When I hear that thing from Macbeth, I literally, can't you just picture Gates and Offutt and Hotez sitting around in their witch's brew putting this stuff together? Other modern ingredients in childhood vaccines. This is what you are giving if you trust the vaccine manufacturers. Formaldehyde. We already know that's bad. Polysorbate 80, which is linked to infertility. And my absolute favorite, potassium chloride. Why is this my favorite? Because that is the chemical that is injected as the third injection in lethal injections by executioners. Now, admittedly, infants get far less of it than people who are executing, but we really want to be injecting any amount of that into human beings. Sodium borate, Triton X, that's what's in spermicides, and of course, until very recently, ethyl mercury. I don't want mercury injected into my kids, period. When I was a kid, if a light fell and broke on the floor, you had to call a hazmat team to get rid of it because it had mercury. You can't touch it, you can't breathe it, you can't eat it, but you can inject it into babies. It's crazy.